Good morning, and it's me, Kenny Polcari, your host of the party. Morning market commentary, everything you need to know to get your day started. It is Thursday, July 22nd. So what's going on? Well, stocks continue to rally, right? Following through after the Monday drubbing on Tuesday's rally, Wednesday's rally, and this morning U.S. futures are higher again as we anticipate another good day with all the focus now being on earnings and off the Delta variant. So let's talk about what it is, the things we need to know, right? So as I said, stocks continue to recoup the Monday losses and then some, trading near all-time highs, right? What's the bond market really telling us? Is it telling us caution ahead, or is the bond market just confused as well? Oil trading back up 4% after the drubbing it took on Monday. It's now kissing $71 a barrel. Even as inventories rise, demand is alive and well. Bitcoin and Ethereum get a little boost from the B event, but many still believe that the next technical move is lower for the currency. And what are we having for dinner tonight? We're going to try the Jack chicken thighs, all right? We'll get to that in one moment. So stocks continued to surge, extending on the gains after the Monday temper tantrum, right? All while the Delta variant, the reason cited for the Monday clubbing, continues to wreak havoc in some parts of the world, meaning nothing to stocks, though, right? Investors have suddenly decided to push that to the back burner and insist on, and instead focus on the banner start to earnings season, right? Which is very curious to me and many others, because those banner earnings are not a surprise, or at least should not have been a surprise to anybody, right? We've been talking about it for months, about the unexpected, the expected spectacular rise in earnings that was supposed to come now. We've been talking about it for months. And the first 2 weeks of the earnings season has proven that those expectations are correct. Corporate reports have been beaten on both the top and bottom lines, and the news could not be better. So far, better than 90% of reported companies are beating on both the lines, which is far above the usual 72 to 75% average that beat on the bottom line. In fact, I actually think it's closer to 92% that are beating. 10-year treasuries, which surged in price on Monday, as the selling in stocks intensified, caused many analysts to warn of this economic slowdown, that the move in the treasuries meant that the bond market was forewarning of tougher times ahead, and yields plummeted as treasury prices rose and stocks fell. The VIX spiked, and the tone of the day was definitely negative. It finally felt like the markets were recognizing many of the concerns that have been simmering on the back burner that we've been talking about, right? Inflation, deflation, stagflation, Fed policy, interest rates, and what no one is yet talking about, but the coming debt ceiling, which is going to hit us on July 30th, right? That's a whole nother conversation that's going to happen certainly the end of this week and next week. Now, the move on Monday was not this panic at all, right? In fact, I'd argue that it was actually welcomed by a whole lot of us, myself included, as some investors and strategists have been predicting, right? The pullback was the beginning, or at least I thought the pullback was the beginning of this repricing and the recognition that valuations have become way stretched, and that inflation was a concern, and all this other stuff, or at least that's what we thought. Well, it did happen for about 6 hours. But then on Tuesday and again yesterday, the tone changed dramatically. And I'm not really sure what happened between, the Monday drama and the Tuesday morning, because all the concerns suddenly disappeared. They were nothing but a distant memory, right? And the media now was focusing on the positives versus the negatives that they focused on Monday. And they turned the narrative around completely, right? Just think about those banner earnings that they're all talking about now. Stocks rallied on Tuesday, they rallied again on Wednesday, and they're rallying again this morning as buyers are tripping over each other trying to get in the same way the sellers were tripping over each other trying to get out on Monday. I mean, it's crazy, right? And those rising treasury prices that suggested tougher economic times ahead, think labor shortages, think just supply chain shortages, think non-transitory inflation, and the potential start to a Fed tapering apparently are all incorrect. Not an issue at all. None of that should be concerned about. The massive move into the treasury says nothing about the next 6 months. Okay, which is curious, because that's what they tell us. That's what they tell us it does when yields fall and prices rise, right? The bond market's concerned about the economic environment. It means that the bond markets are expecting the economy to cool down. Well, okay, that was until Tuesday and Wednesday. And again today, once again, the economy is not cooling down. At least that's what stock prices are telling us. And now treasury prices have come in and yields have gone back up. By the end of the day yesterday, the Dow was up another 300 points. The S&P was up 36 points. The NASDAQ gained 134 points. And the Russell added another 40 points, or 1.8%. And as you might expect, every sector was in the green except for utilities and consumer staples, which makes some sense, right? Because they're more defensive plays. And when the market's going up, it's looking for growth, not defense, right? This morning, U.S. futures are up again. Dow futures are up 90 points. The S&Ps are up 8. The Nasdaq's up 30, and the Russell's up 4. The 10-year yields have rebounded a bit and are now ended the day yesterday at 1.29%, where they are this morning, suggesting that all those Treasury buyers that were concerned on Monday have all changed their mind. And now they're no longer concerned, right? Money moved out of the Treasury market back into the equity markets. The VIX fell another 9%, leaving it back down at 1763. And oil, which had gotten really beaten up on Monday, falling as low as 65.56 at one point on Monday, is now kissing $71. And don't even tell me you're surprised. I've been telling you this. But look, I don't really want to be a party pooper, but all this erratic behavior with prices suddenly collapsing and then suddenly surging is not normal, no matter what anybody says. It suggests that that we should be in for more volatility ahead, and there's a lot of uncertainty. Look, we have not had as much as a 5% pullback in the broader market. But if you look at the transports, they in fact did go through a correction, right? They were down 12% coming into yesterday morning, and after yesterday's trade, they're only down 9%. So they went from correction territory back into the normal trading range. But transports have come under some pressure, and while there may not be an alternative at this time, let's not kid ourselves. Short-term risk is increasing. The August Fed meeting at Jackson Hole is only 1 month away, and if we think is going to happen, if we actually think what we think is going to happen happens, then we can expect Jay Powell to announce the beginning of this Fed tapering beginning later this year, or at the furthest early next year. We're also entering a seasonally weak time for the market, so it's not a time to fall asleep. And while many think that the move on Monday was a warning to the Fed not to move, it's going to be very interesting to see who's really driving this bus, because all the talk over the last 3 months is about when and not if the Fed is going to move. And that talk has been coming from members of the Fed. Now, we're going to get about 25 earnings reports today, and they include names like Southwest Airlines, Telephone, American Airlines, Nucorp, Newmont, Dow, American Electric Power, Abbott, UNP. And if recent behavior holds true, we can expect 22 of those 25 to beat on every line. So don't be surprised. Economic data includes the Chicago Fed, initial jobless claims, continuing claims, leading economic indicators, existing home sales, and the Kansas City Fed. So once again, they're going to use all that to kind of propel the positive story. In Europe markets, they're all higher on a rash of better earnings, even as the Delta variant continues to spread across the region. In addition, the European Central Bank is set to announce their latest thoughts on monetary policy, right? Recall that they hiked their inflation target to a solid 2%. That's from, below and close to. So now they've made it a solid 2%. That's expected to allow them to let inflation run a little bit hot, much like what the Fed is doing here in the States. And they're also set to tweak their guidance, setting the stage for a change in policy in the months ahead. Remember, Christine Lagarde told us that the ECB would not make a move until the Fed made a move. It's all very coordinated, as it should be. As of 6 a.m., all market centers are up, about 0.5%. Look, there's bugs all over the place. They're killing me. Anyway, oil's trading back up at $71 a barrel. It was up 4% even as inventories rise, right? Demand is alive and well. The panic over the Monday drop is nothing but a bad memory. It's not happening. They want oil in the $70 to $80 range, period, the end, and that's where it's going to go. Bitcoin is trading back at 32,000, up from 29.5 on Tuesday. Ethereum's trading at 2,000 and Dogecoin's trading at 18 cents. The B event yesterday was uneventful, really. People had to listen to Lonnie Musk tell you that while he may pump, he doesn't dump. And while he wanted that to be, a big laugh, it really fell flat in its face, right? Nobody really reacted to it. Kathy Wood had some interesting things to say, but either way, many still believe that the next move in crypto is lower, a technical move. And it doesn't suggest anything other than it's a technical correction in the asset before we see another significant surge up. So keep your eyes on that. It's going to be interesting. 32,000 is a level that, if it doesn't pierce, then it's going to test 30 again. And if 30 doesn't hold, remember that's the neckline, then we'll see it collapse a little bit more. In any event, the rotation continues, so there's no reason to change your whole portfolio. Stick to the plan, focus on the goal, and not on the short-term noise. The S&P closed at 43.58 last night as it digests the recent turbulence. We remain within that trading band, so nothing has changed. As usual, if you need to, you tweak your portfolio to keep it in balance, put new money to work in some of the underperformers, and if Monday taught you anything, It is that you should not be emotional, but rather be a steady hand in turbulent waters. Look, you know what you can do? You can text the word invest at 21,000. You can get my digital business card downloaded right to your phone. Feel free to send me an email, send me a text, give me a call. I'm always happy to talk about the markets. I'm happy to talk about, kind of market concerns. And you can also always get me on Twitter, right? My Twitter handle is just my name, at Kenny Polcari, and you see I'm fairly active. But I put my note on Twitter, and I put this video on Twitter as well. So what are we having for dinner tonight? Well, it is summertime. You can use the grill, and so I'm thinking about making Jack Daniel's chicken thighs. They are so delicious. And once again, it's a great dish that you can make for a large party, because you just take a bunch of chicken thighs, you put them on the grill, you marinate it with this sauce, and then you lay it all out, right? So for this, you need the chicken thighs on the bone. You're going to just brush those very lightly with peanut oil, and you're going to season them with salt and pepper. You're going to put those aside. Then for the mix, for the glaze, you need, and very specific, a half a cup of soy sauce, 4 tablespoons of white vinegar, a half a cup of Jack Daniels, a half a cup of brown sugar, 3 scallions, some grated ginger, maybe like a tablespoon, 4 big garlic cloves, smashed and chopped. And you're going to mix all these ingredients together. You're going to set it aside. You're going to just taste it, just to make sure that you're not overweight in the sugar or in the Jack Daniels. So just taste it. It's going to be good. It's fine. Just put it aside. Now you're going to heat up the grill. You're going to take the seasoned chicken and you're going to put it on the grill. You just don't want to burn it. You want to cook the chicken for maybe 3 or 4 minutes on each side until it's just lightly browned, right? Just don't burn it. Remove it and put it in a metal roasting pan. Now turn the heat on the grill down to low. Take the sauce that you made, pour it into the same pan with the chicken, toss the chicken to coat it, and then put the pan directly on the grill, right? Leave the chicken in the pan on the grill. Turn the chicken, sit there and cook the chicken until the sauce is reduced to everything but a glaze, right? And then it's done. Then remove it and serve it. You can place it on a beautiful platter. Now, if you're doing this in your house, not on a grill, then you can heat a saute pan to high with a bit of peanut oil in the pan, add the chicken, cook until lightly brown. Take the chicken out, put the sauce in, heat the sauce up, then add the chicken back in, coat the chicken, turn the heat down to simmer, cover it, and just let the chicken cook until the sauce reduces, right? Cover it, don't cover it completely, cover it, just put the top off the side so that, it can reduce. But keep your eyes on it. You can't really leave it because you need to be turning it as the sauce turns into a glaze. And when it turns into a glaze, then it's done, right? And then, like I said, you're making this for a big party. You can set it on a big white platter. You can put some kale or arugula down on the platter first, and then just put the chicken on top of it. Serve this with a big green salad. Serve it with maybe a macaroni salad or even a potato salad. You got your ribeye steaks on one end of the table. You got this chicken on the other end of the table. It's a great summer picnic or family dinner. So I hope you enjoy it. Give it a try. Send me an email. Tell me how you liked it. In any event, the day is just dawning. It's another gorgeous day here. Markets are higher. I'll see you tomorrow. Take good care.